all the participants who have joined online in this pandemic situation. At the outset, let me take this opportunity to thank Dr. Kunnur, my old friend Mahesh, and other members of the LISC Academy for organizing this beautiful event, which is a national virtual conference on reinventing the excellence in librarianship, which is scheduled to be organized from 27th to 30th August 2020. And I can see quite a good number of speakers are there, and many of them are very close friend of mine. The session which the theme 2 which we have selected today for the discussions, I have very esteemed panel members on this. The theme is new paradigms in collection development, and I have my plenary speakers, Dr. B.M. Meera. Dr. B.M. Meera is very well known to me also, a well-known librarian from Raman Research Institute, and her talk is going to be on curation and preservation of archival collection through digitization, a practical experience. Dr. Hamsa Kalyani, the librarian information officer from National Institute of Advanced Studies. She is going to talk on institutional assets of social science research institutes in India. And then we have Dr. Vimal Kumar Varun. Vimal Kumar is from Technical Assistant, Mahatma Gandhi University Library, Kottayam, and he's going to talk on role of libraries in Wikipedia and content development. Then my age-old friend, Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya. Siddhamalaya is the librarian of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences in Karnataka, where he is going to deal on mostly on the collection models for the e-resource consortia, which is a very, very demanding area in current context. Then we have Dr. B. Sanjay, the university librarian from Tripura University, a central university of Suryanami Nagar in Tripura. And his topic is going to be on converts with your collection and exercise to build a diverse collection for every reader. Well, I'm sure he's going to touch upon one of the laws of Professor Ranganathan. And then we have Dr. B.S. Shivaraman. Shivaram, who is a senior technical officer from ICAST National Aerospace Laboratory, where he is going to talk about the usage data-driven collection development practices at VTU e-resource consortia. So you can see a galaxy of speakers are going to be there on the plenary talk, and I am sure these speakers are going to enthrall each of the audiences with their, the vast knowledge, experience, and the best practices which he is going to share. Now, keeping this in mind, now my session is going to be on embrace digital transformation, which is basically an area which very close to my heart nowadays. And because of this pandemic situation and all, many of the things which I would be, talking today have already been taken into considerations, and it has played a very pivotal role in my organization, that is TERI. So I am working in TERI as a fellow of the Knowledge Management Division. I'll start with a very interesting, quote by Alvin Toffler, where he talked about the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. See, there are very important words he has emphasized. A great futurist, a great author who has written number of books like Power Shift, The Third Wave, and all, where he has mentioned these three words. And that is what I think it is going to stride by the LIS Academy, that we need to learn, we need to unlearn, and then we need to relearn. I think we are going towards that mission. My agenda for today's discussion, as you can see that we are working from home, I will give you a snapshot of what is the TERI's Knowledge Management Division, a brief overview. I'll also show you some of the range of services and activities of TERI Knowledge Management Division, the library services where the changes are taking place, and as well as the knowledge management, how it has played a very significant role in this current pandemic area and all. Let me tell you, friends, in this particular situation, when there is a lot of a pandemic problem is there, one of the major thing which has come up is the digital transformation, which has played a very big role into it. Now, as far as TERI is concerned, we are into knowledge discovery. And these knowledge discovery, actually, it was started a long back when TERI was born in 1984. But the thing is that in 2010, if I talk about the changes that had taken place in the last one decade, the change in the roles of library information service, a detailed study of the knowledge management system was carried out in 2010 by me and my colleagues. The internalizations to bring about the different kinds of projects, our knowledge resource center. We started doing a large number of projects in the knowledge resource center because we have to earn our own bread. We have introduced the knowledge management system in Terry, and we also introduced the remote access system in Terry in 2019. And in 2020, this entire one decade journey took a dramatic change due to COVID. Remote access to resources increased. Knowledge management system became the backbone of every Terry researcher today. In fact, I am happy to tell you that a couple of weeks back we had a debate on this area, that because we have to start now working towards the new area of the the procurements and everything. So we have started now rehearsing what kind of procurement system we should get into, what are the different kinds of e-resources we should bring in, how much would be percentage of e-resources we should bring in compared to the physical resources which are already there, what we are going to do with the physical resources. Some of these challenges we have trying to debate out today. As far as in Terry is concerned and my division is concerned, see, we are a knowledge resource center. I think we are the organization in this country, a knowledge resource center in this country. We are always need to bring in more projects, bring in innovation in the new projects, how to increase the success rates, think out of the box, and which are the new funding opportunity areas. So this is what you can say, a kind of for my entire team, that's how should we meet the targets. So every day is our business, and let me tell you why I'm saying this, because there is always when you look at library, that we are spending a lot of money in procurement of resources, or we are, but how do we do a valuation? We need to look at the information economics, or the economics of information. We need to look at it. So that is where our project management comes into being. So Terry, if you look at a small history, 1974, it was started as a documentation information center. You can imagine that this is the only, or Terry is the organization which started as a documentation information center. So it is there in our blood. 1982, the Terry Library Information was established, and in 2010, we established the knowledge management system. We started rethinking our knowledge resource center into a different dimension today. So in India, we have several branches like in New Delhi, Mumbai, Assam, Bangalore, and all. So what we do is basically we work in these five major areas. It's on energy, is on environment, is on resource efficiency, is on agriculture, and is on sustainable development. These are the five major areas where the research and consultancy is taking place, and we ourselves as a knowledge resource center or knowledge management division, we playing an integral role in this particular area. Sustainable development goals, which was given in 2015 by UNESCO, we are started creating business out of it, and that is what our is main aim today. I came across a very interesting book by James Canton, which is on Future Smart, where he started talking about in that connected transportation will be safe. Connected networks will find the patterns and solution to the problems. Connected enterprises will reach new customers. Connected governments, connected technologies will enable new products and services. Connected entrepreneurs will harness the innovation, and connected education will enable the smart learning. And that is why we are a game changer. And this is not new to all of us. We are here because we are every day we are evincing these things, and these things are today not only globally but even in India also. These things are today. So we need to understand that we have started became a game changer. These are the four verticals basically my division works: capacity building, knowledge products and services, knowledge management, and project-based information service. In fact, I would be dealing in each one of them. Our knowledge products, it is not a current awareness service or selective dissemination of information service. No, we don't do that, because that thing has, those days are gone. We bring out a knowledge product because we analyze the market. We bring out different kinds of the product which are based on sustainable development goals. And we work very closely with our researchers, and that kind of a product is produced and then it is served to my researchers. So our knowledge products we can deliver on the desktop itself, and that kind of a digital resources are provided there. We have our portfolio, and the portfolios are like this. We have a subject stream experts. We have a wide range of subject domain experts, from policymakers to technocrats. We involve the ICT and the social media experts to fill the gaps. We have the managerial strong capability, and we have a information and the knowledge. So these are the portfolios which are there. So our portfolios, if I look at as a knowledge management divisions, we have the best state of the art. We have an established market. Our outreach is very strong, from local to global, strong hold on digital disruptions, and we have the subject specialists on board with us. Whenever we are doing a particular project on a particular area, we have the subject expert with us. And we have created a network, and we build a consortium network of all organizations who are working in the same field. This consortia building is not for e-resources exchange. No, it is not for that. We build this network for many things, like for example exchange of expertise, exchange of best practices, exchange of different kinds of knowledge. In fact, in the many of the resources which are in the open domain or open knowledge on open science, we exchange with them. The network will help to build and source different projects which are collaborative in nature. In fact, we are doing a large number of collaborative projects with different people on these areas. We debate and discuss with the subject domain experts. So we are part of the subject experts and the researchers. We have never been seen differently. That is our strength. We need to understand this. So that can only be possible if you are a game changer. Even you can also do it in your library if you are a game changer. So for that, there are a couple of commandments which I take away, and these are called 10 commandments for me. So probably you have to change your vision, explode, change your market, disrupt, change your strategy, inspire, change your brand, design, change your business, resonate, change your story, enable, change your experience, mobilize, change your relationship, sustain, change your impact, and amplify, change your potential. These are the 10 commandments. And let me tell you, friends, these are coming very fast and knocking at your door. What you need to do is, please, basically, you have to adopt and adapt all of them. If you don't adapt and adopt in this current scenario, it would be very difficult to survive. So we are actually in the digital kindergarten. It is not the digital technology. You get a piece of paper, convert it into PDF file, and then provide it the service. That is a one type of service which you are talking. But there are several things which you need to do on a digital when we are talking about digital transformation. The most important digital transformation when I'm talking about this capital T. Why I'm saying a capital T? Because this capital T means one is a content, another is a context, and the most important is the technology. Whatever technology, you can bring in any latest emerging technology you can bring in. But please remember, content is very important today. What content you are producing, context, the purpose. If both these things are in balance, then only your technology comes. So for this T, content, context, and technology. So I call it as a CCT model. Take an example of WhatsApp. Whatever content you write, it is the matter which you are writing, the context, the purpose for which you are writing, and technology. WhatsApp itself is a platform. How it has completely revolutionized our world today. We need to understand that. So in coming 10 years, I got this from a study. Some of the important things which are challenging, which are coming for our profession too, is knowledge management. There is going to disappear of the hierarchies. Work-life balance, so meaningful work would be coming up very fast. Demographic development, so there is a migration challenge. International competitions, cost optimizations, and digitalization and virtualization. Please remember, There are three concepts which are coming up very fast for all of you if you have to play a leadership role in the digital domain. Number one, digitization, where you convert a particular document into a digitized form. Digitalization, where you do a processing of that documentation. Process is involved. And digital transformation, when you do a complete transformation in the process. So digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation, these three verticals are coming up very fast, and it is going to revolutionize in another 5 years. Digital transformation is all about creating a digital experience for your customers. What changes in the digital era? The reach, the speed. And if you change the reach and the speed, then you have to change the scale. What changes in the digital organization? Habits of the customers may change, but their interests and needs are similar. It is necessary to understand their expectations. How to identify the opportunities and we detect the threats? There are five key topics for that. Content, which I mentioned earlier. Clients identify with a purpose or a mission that transcend the business. Speed, clients expect reaction capacity in terms of action and communication. How fast he's getting those information on his desktop. Transparency, please, if you are able to provide a service on a particular query, if you are able to provide the service, please provide it. And if you are not, say, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't, I have not understood. You can't play around with the client, because these things we need to understand. Innovation, being the best in the category is not enough in a highly competitive market. Performance in the digital world. Here, please remember, like I'll show you in my subsequent slides. Here, your performance needs to be measured, and it is a measurable there. Because if you are working on a digital environment, your performance can be measured in a various ways. And most important thing, I think you need a transformation strategy on board now. It is the right time for you to write your own transformation strategy. Probably if you have developed your vision document, I think you need to do a re-engineering in your vision document. In our territory, what is the most important thing came and we took our complete organizational strategic change is the knowledge management. And three aspects of knowledge management are very important for us: people, process, and the technology. People are the most important. People within the organization and people outside the organization, the stakeholders, the clients with whom we are working. Because there is a people to people connectivity. They understand each other and we should understand them too. So there is a people to people connectivity. So we need to understand what kind of people's analytics are in place to measure their understanding. To understand their requirements is very important in today's context. So what is the most important thing is sentiment analysis. Let me give you a quick example. We regular basis, we used to, do a questionnaire survey. Now, in the questionnaire survey, what we used to do is basically we used to do, provide the questionnaire to our user and we used to take the feedback. There is always a sentiment that we should take only the good ones, not we should remove the bad ones. Otherwise, the management will boomerang on us. That is always our fear. Think about a case in today's digital world. Suppose in your Amazon, your Flipkart, whatever product or service you are taking, you read the reviews first. And the first thing as your sentiment, what is the important thing you look into? What are the negative things was written in that? Why they are writing the negative things? They could have also removed it, because the negative things always give you a room for improvement. So sentiment analysis is a very, very important area. We need to understand this. And there are several tools for doing sentiment analytics. Process. I think it is very important to understand the processes. And some of the processes are very long, even in collection development today. We have done a minimization of all those processes actually. And the most important thing is the products when we are delivering it. Not stored knowledge, but smart knowledge. Redefine your content strategy. In fact, I would request you to study. There is a very interesting whole issue came up in New Scientist April 2017, where they have given a one particular word. What is knowledge? I would urge everyone to please read this entire issue. you would be completely flabbergasted after reading it. What's exactly the knowledge is? I think we need to understand that particular thing. If I start explaining on that, it would be take another session for me. And then the technology. So there is an emerging technology which is coming up today. So whatever technology is coming, please remember measuring tool is very important in today's context. You have to measure the resource analytics, you have to bring in the users analytics, you have to do a quality analytics, you have to web analytics, you have to do a social media analytics, and you have to do a KM analytics. We have done this, and we have the different tools for doing all this, and we do it on a very in a more quarterly basis. We keep on doing this, all this analytics actually. Mobile, in today's strategy, it has implemented, it has mobile app of a library is now in everybody's desktop. So resources and eBay services are accessible using the mobile today. But we have provided everything. So why still there is a minimal user adoption? Why my projects got failed? We have done so many things. Content deluge, too many repositories. Business needs change, and there is a lack of ROI to support. So what went wrong? This was the mind-blowing question was asked by management to me. So the most important thing is we did a digital content management, we built it, but they didn't turn up. You have made all preparations, but they didn't turn up, or the success rate was very low. I came across a very interesting book by Dr. Vijay Govindarajan. He was the professor of strategy and innovation of the Harvard Business School. He gave a very simple solutions, and I'm sure all of you should go through it. See, he gives a very important solutions to, and he gives the solutions to, I think, each one of us. And this is very interesting. See, the three boxes which he talks about, and these are the things: manage the present, selectively forget the past, and create the future. And these are the three columns in y-axis we have talked about: the framework, the strategy making, the accountability, and the organizational design. See, if you go through this book, and you will find that there was a very detailed framework he has talked about. And if you try to do an organization, transforming an organizational strategy for your own library or your own division, I think this particular book or a framework will come up as a solution to you. And I'm sure you would be able to enjoy and make many more changes in it. See, these three things are very important to understand. Manage the present. He's not saying that don't just remove the present. No, manage the present. Past is also important. So selectively forget the past. He's using the word selectively. In fact, in the book itself, he has mentioned what are the things selectively you should chosen and create the new future. So as there is a revolution is coming in front of all of us, so we need to create the new future. So he is addressing. So I'm sure all of you would be able to go through and find out a very interesting thing on this. Now, this particular thing is known to everybody today, that there is a national education policy is coming up. I was going through this, and I was, discussing with some of the leading, education policy makers. One of the important thing, and which I am evincing in fact, with my daughter and everybody today, and in fact that now LIS Academy is doing such a beautiful conference, a virtual conference and all. Education 4.0, it is in great demand today. And not only in schools and colleges, but even in the industry and research institutions also. We need to look at building a collaborative and a creative classroom. And when I'm talking about, so we need to understand the education models must adapt to equip individuals with skills to create a more inclusive, cohesive, and a productive world. Because we are into a new virtual learning environment today. The students' learning experience has changed. Today, the every student is having either an iPad or a laptop. And it is not that there is no interaction. There is a continuous interactivity taking place. Even the interactivity has gone up more because of the virtual learning environment. And irrespective of the place, irrespective of the zone, irrespective of the time, wherever you are, we need to understand this. And today, in the schools and the colleges and the institutions, these are the four mantras which are very important in today's context. One is make, another is connect, another is think, And the fourth quadrant is play. Make, connect, think, and play. And these are the four verticals where there is a continuous revolution is taking place. There was a study I was going through. There was a time when there was a content 1.0. We had a one format, one owner, one delivery, one publisher. At that time, industry 1.0 was on there. But there was a radical change has taken place in today. I came across a very interesting book who was the founder of your World Economic Forum called Klaus Schwab. I would request all of you to please go through the book by Klaus Schwab, where he is talking about the industry 4.0, because the industry 4.0 is in such a critical area where you have many formats, many owners, many deliverables, and many publishers, where it is not one but multiple things are coming up in a different way. What is most important, in fact, when I was talking to all the some of the policymakers on these areas and leading educators, what they are talking about today is there is a time is coming where people will look into learning analytics. You develop a content and you forget, like n number of courses are made online available. Is it reaching out to the right people at the right format? Number one. Is it the people who are adopting it and utilizing it, optimally using it? How do you measure that? So the students, who are the beneficiary? The students. The industry connectivity, what is preaching and practicing. And institutions' new sustainability model is coming up. And let me tell you, friends, these things are not unknown. These things are all known to us. And we, Terry, as an organization, some of these things we are practicing actually. Reimagine your search and discovery. There is a work-life network. People are asking for tailor-made products. People and the content have a very close, a plug-in. It is more people-centric rather a content-centric. We need to understand these things. So there is a new normal and post-COVID scenario I'll touch upon on the Terry Library. We started with a very strong area, which is called Research Intelligence Management System. Now, this is one of my very favorite area, which I take with all my 1,200 researchers. This is the area. In this particular area, what we are actually doing is we are doing review of literature. We are providing them the research data aggregation from different sources. We are integration part of the major project outcome. We are the resource procurement for the projects. We are doing customized knowledge services, and we are setting up the knowledge-based platform on thematic areas. One of the area that is the second component which you see here is basically, and this second area is a very, very important area, that is review of literature. Let me give you an example. This is not the review of literature what we have been doing in our PhD or in all our research work. We have won some of the major projects which are exclusively based on the review of literature only. I don't know how many of you know that there is a platform called Pool Party, which does a very strong review of literature on some of the important areas. So these are some of the areas. A major role of information professional is to understand their needs. Research of the people, research by the people, research for the people. This is the research mantra of Terry. So one of the another important content area where we have got a very strong hold now, it is the research data management. We have primary data, we have secondary data. We have developed a data culture now because we are going into scientific data, sociological data, corporate data, and funders data. We are looking into the proprietary data. We are looking into global open data. And all of them are part of my knowledge management system. So one of the fundamental area where my work and my dimension is data intelligence, data analytics, data visualization, and data storytelling. These are some of the important areas. And this has taken enormous research work, enormous amount of new dimension it has come up in this pandemic area, and it has gone beyond the level. Working from home, we have provided equitable access to all the researchers to our vast resources. Library resources, online journal, online database, digitized in-house resources. One of the most three important component is equitable access to knowledge management system. All projects completed by Terry researchers, all proposals completed, and a bag of other content are also provided to them. Terry knowledge management system, there are 1200 people are there, and they are all accessible through intranet. Multi-factor authentication we have done, and a high secure cloud-based system we have provided them from anytime, anywhere. A breakthrough was done. We captured the project photographs. Earlier it was not there in such a, now we are trying to integrate the knowledge management system, the project photographs. We are doing a lot of game communication through virtual platforms. We are doing a bundle, we are bringing out the bundle of research data to them. We are providing them in the platter, what I just mentioned about that. And one of the important component which I practically is personally involved is capturing the lessons learned. Many of the research projects which have been carried out by our researchers have got an enormous experience on that. I am capturing their lessons and submitting into them. Equitable access to resources, integration with the project management system. Knowledge Resource Center, all my library resources are interconnected. Interconnectivity with different media and the plugin with the different, there are several systems in silos. Now we are going to bring in all of them at one particular platform. So access to digital resources, analytics based, 24 into 7 provided to them. Engagement model was a very important thing. We want to understand. Everybody says I am very engaged, so I am not available for any work. We have developed the analytics to find out who is how much involved, engaged project wise, and who is available for the news projects. And let me tell you, friends, this is not meant for my researchers. This is even meant for my knowledge management division team. We can find out how much he is engaged. Every his work is getting measured. SWOT analysis we have done. We have reduced the carbon footprint. We have infrastructure was improvised like anything, especially the bandwidth and the connectivity. Availability and the comfortability was given to them in a win. And cost energy. The cost of energy has grown up. That was one of the threat areas. The cost of energy has grown up. So now my management started looking at how do we bring in the reduce the cost to energy, because these are the four vertical areas of SWOT analysis was very important for even for my KM division also. Meeting with the clients, which is very easy and seamless now. New clients in the market emerged. A paradigm shift has taken place towards the digital services based projects are identified. Dealing with uncertainty and flat growth is the new business normal. Interestingly, the digital transformation is receiving a boost as never before, and sectors like gaming, online education, and IT security are witnessing a significant growth. And this I have taken from the IDC, that is International Data Corporation quotations I have taken from there. So, my dear friends, tomorrow we all of us have to be a digipreneur, digital entrepreneur. So, I came across a very interesting book by Thomas Friedman, The World is Flat, A Brief History of the 21st Century, where he's talked about never before in the history of the planet have so many people on their own had the ability to find so much information about so many things and about so many other peoples. So with that, I would request each one of you to please stay connected with me, and with all of us. I'd stay connected, and that is what our strength is. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Kunnur. Thank you, LIS Academy, for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts to all of you. Thank you very much.